Are you feeling busy? Are you feeling like stressed and as if time is the most limiting factor upon your life? That whole concept of there are only 24 hours in the day and you can only do so much within that time. I'm going to invite you for an reframe. As all of my videos, I invite you to listen for insights comparison to agreements by definition. And the premise underneath here is the goal is to manage all of the actions instead of managing your time. Because the goal itself is to have freedom as a result. It is going through that needle and experiencing that freedom as an end result. This is a big mindset shift. Because if you are, for example, planning down or planning in your agenda like free time, stuff that you can do stuff for yourself, like every moment in every time is time for yourself. Every piece of moment that you have is your time. And there are sometimes stuff that you've agreed upon with someone else. So these are appointments that you need to do. This is different than time boxing. Time boxing is specifically different. If I've agreed upon, like in 2 hours I have a meeting, which I actually like mentioned to that person, like, yeah, I'll be there, then I'll be there. Then my word becomes my bound, because that's one of the premises that is like very sacred to me. That's a sacred choice that I follow. Like my word becomes my bound. And like the time that I have now until that moment, that's free time for me. That doesn't mean that I'm not working upon like my things for my projects, my actions, like all of the stuff that I've kind of like listed out. But I can be in the present moment here right now, fully present for this video, comparison to how I was in the past with me feeling busy or like, oh, it's finally a day off. I don't need to think about anything else. Like I've kind of escaped that whole mindset of me being stressed, me not being in control. Doesn't mean I have everything under control. God only knows. It's not really God, but yeah. So managing your actions results in you having that freedom as a result, without you feeling stressed, of overwhelmed, or time is the most limiting factor. Because like in this hour, I can do stuff that will benefit the whole quality of every piece of my life. So the next hour will benefit the rest of my life, and the hour afterwards will benefit the rest of my life as well, and the hour afterwards. So everything is an expansion comparison to the self, to the version that I was in the past, comparison to how I am in the future, or how I will be in the future. So everything is a system, it's a build up, it's a habit, it's an integration in my being. And one of the mantras that I use quite often, also in videos, but also with people that I work with, is that whole concept of slowing down to speed up. Because quite often, even me as an individual, I move too quickly because I feel like that I need to do certain things. And if we can truly slow down in our whole perception, in our whole physical outgoing movements, then we can really become effective with the actions, with the physical movements that we're doing. And that's the golden nugget kind of like underneath all of this. And then a concept like time bending also appears. Because the quality of your brain, your intellect, like the potential that you have inside of you, is way, way, way quicker comparison to what you think it can be, or what you have kind of like maybe even believe. Like maybe you're still in that state of, I don't believe that I can do all of that stuff, or that I'm smart enough, or that I'm capable enough, or that you can remember all of the names from a specific event or an interaction that you're having, or with a group of people that you have. Well, and one of the things that Jim Quick, for example, mentions as in genius leaves clues. So that means that you can model the systems, the habits, the structures that highly effective people do, and kind of integrate that into your own being. Because there's no limiting factor within your potential. Like none. None. There's only like a um, built up velocity into you being the state that you are in. And most often you need to like forget all of the limiting beliefs that you have been imprinted upon by the culture, by the cult, which we mention as a culture. And you need to integrate, like adapt into the good behaviors that you can do, that you want to do, which are focused on your own personal goals, visions, realities, in that state of, love and acceptance that I believe every one of us wants to live in. So the underlying premise is slow down to speed up. And then a whole concept of the reason why I'm doing this AIM focus points, the underlying idea of AIM, so that is action, information, and insight management, which is focused on specific mindset shifts and methods to externalize your actions, ideas, and insights into an external system. Because there are some spiritual gurus, Sadhguru, for example. It's quite funny, spiritual guru, and he's called Sadhguru, but that's a different joke. I don't know if that's connected in a certain way. I think it's his actual name, but I don't know that for sure. Like Sadhguru mentioned a whole idea of you are not your body and you are not even your mind. He has a whole meditational practice after that. And I've kind of did that last year, like a couple of weeks all at the same time. You're not your body, you're not even your mind. While looking at the mirror was really confronting. And based on that concept, I've kind of created that whole idea of externalizing your thoughts, your ideas, your actions, all of the beautiful ideas that you have floating around in your head, and externalized in such a way that you can see it as a third person perspective without you identifying on that ideas, actions, wishes, desires, understandings, insights, ideas. Because, and this is something that I know from Jordan Peterson, and he says something of people don't have ideas. He's probably like rephrasing it from someone else. I don't know who is, if that was Jung or I don't know, but I know it from Jordan Peterson. And he said something like, people don't have ideas, but ideas have people. And that's such a powerful underlying concept, because then you can think about, okay, which idea is currently possessing me? Like, I get a little goosebumps feeling upon that. Which ideas are currently having me? And that's a very interesting one. And within that AIM framework, I guide people in that whole concept of writing down your insights, your belief systems, your way of thinking, in a way that you can observe it from a third person perspective. And then you can start seeing as in, hey, is this belief system underneath here, is that actually benefiting me for the state that I want to live in? It could be that it's benefiting you. Like, I personally was in a very long time in that state of good and evil and fighting beneath that or between that. Something that Alexander Solzhenitsyn said is the line dividing good and evil cuts through the middle of every human's heart. Like, I'm paraphrasing, he said it a little bit more beautiful. Can I? Yeah, I've got it there, but and that's that whole concept of good and evil, and are we an Hobbes or are we an Rousseau underlying idea? And Rousseau means like everyone is good and just tries to do the best that they can, and culture is suppressing them. And the Hobbes idea is, if I understand it correctly, like the Hobbes idea is humans are innately bad, like, or aggressive, or like, with egoistic motivations inside of them, and they need culture to keep them in line. So then, like, the whole justice and punishment gets integrated in that. Like, currently, the culture that we have built around us is based on that Hobbes idea. We need to punish those who are not doing well within the environment, within our social structure. We see a little bit more Rousseau movement, like helping each other, doing pro bono, giving free value, creating social media, creating everything for free. But there's so much integration into that Hobbes idea within our social structure at this moment, which isn't a bad thing. It has helped us massively, massively from the starting point on. But like, that is a massive layer that we haven't dove into just yet. Like that whole structural idea of what are we doing underneath all of this? Which idea is having me? And the question then as well is, which idea is having you? So that is one of the frameworks within AIM. I really want to like invite you to think about how profoundly that this could be if you can externalize your thoughts, because you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of your own thoughts. And currently, like, let's make it a little bit of a more impactful, more in-depth video. Currently, I'm doing the Lifebook program, method, sequence, however you want to call it. And that, in combination with my AIM program, is so powerful. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. um, because they split your life as an individual into 12 different areas, and they ask you, like, what do you believe upon this area? About your emotional life, or about your health and fitness, about your intellectual life, about your financial life, about your career. And you write down all of those concepts, and then you um, you list also, like, the next one is listing out the vision that you have. And without, like, going too deeply at this moment, I'm leading into my foundational goals, which means you're listing out 5 foundational goals. And after those 5 foundational goals, you have then you have completed, or you've built up, you have achieved your life vision, your creation, that ideal lifestyle that you want to have. So that could be career, that could be intimate relationship, your social network that you have around you. This could be you having that impact upon the world, the level that you want it to be. Could be so many different layers. And yeah, now with my knowledge of habit building, structural, like para system projects, managing our actions, getting things done, all of those integrations, and habit building, if I didn't mention it just yet. I'm currently, like, building out of those foundational goals into my yearly goals, into my quarterly goals. And from those quarterly goals, creating weekly habits or even monthly habits, and even habits. Well, it's not even a habit, it's more the system that I will focus underneath all of this. So, weekly review, for example, for writing down my system into, like, which kind of categories have I worked on, what kind of appointments have I actually moved the needle into my ideal version? Do I need to, like, readjust a little bit? And I notice myself now that the language itself is a little bit more vague compared to the beginning, or at least it feels like that for me, because this is currently the leading edge that I'm working on. Like, the leading edge is something that Abraham Hicks talks about as well, that I'm focusing on. Yeah. So the underlaying idea here. This will become so much fun. This will become so much fun. It truly will be. So, like, you guys can find me on the website itself that I've built, timgoerts.com. And currently I am offering 2 different aspects. One of them is the AIM, which I just mentioned, the personal acknowledgement system. And the second concept is emotional mastery with limitless coaching, specifically limitless coaching, based on a concept of map of consciousness from the idea of David Hawkins with his letting go concept, of letting go of the resistance inside of you, which is the Sedona method is also connected to that. If you want to have a Sedona method, I can refer you to a friend of mine as well. She's really good at this stuff. She really helped me as an individual. And yeah, let me end it off with this one. Thank you so much, and I hope you had an amazing value based on this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.